Welcome to Global Byte. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. In recent years, the landscape of gun rights in America has undergone a dramatic transformation. 7 more states have recently eliminated concealed carry permit requirements, a move that has sent ripples through the nation's legal and political systems. With these changes, the total number of states allowing permitless concealed carry has now reached 36, an unimaginable number just a decade ago, when only a handful of states had such laws. The rapid spread of permitless carry legislation has fundamentally altered the way Americans think about the Second Amendment and personal safety. This shift is not just regional, it's a national turning point in the Second Amendment debate. From bustling urban centers to quiet rural communities, the conversation about who should be allowed to carry a concealed weapon, and under what circumstances, has become a defining issue of our time. For some Americans, these new laws represent a restoration of rights they believe were always guaranteed by the Constitution. For others, the changes raise deep concerns about public safety, the potential for increased violence, and the risks posed by untrained individuals carrying firearms in public spaces. At the heart of the debate lies a fundamental question. Does the right to bear arms include carrying a concealed weapon in public without any government oversight or training requirements? This question is now being tested in courts, legislatures, and communities across the country. Supporters of permitless carry see these laws as victories for liberty, self-defense, and the fundamental freedoms enshrined in the Bill of Rights. They argue that law-abiding citizens should not have to ask the government for permission to protect themselves and their families, and that these changes empower individuals to take responsibility for their own safety. On the other side, opponents warn that removing permit requirements could put more guns in the hands of people who lack proper training or background checks, increasing the risk of accidental shootings and gun violence. They point to studies and real-world incidents that suggest a potential rise in crime and public safety concerns. The debate is complex, involving not only legal arguments and constitutional interpretation, but also conflicting statistics, emotional testimonies, and deeply personal stories from families and communities affected by gun violence and self-defense incidents alike. With over 2/3 of states now permitless, pressure mounts on the remaining states to reconsider their laws, and on Congress, where a proposed bill could establish a national standard for concealed carry. The outcome of these debates could reshape the nation's approach to gun rights for generations to come. The story of constitutional carry is the story of a nation at a crossroads, grappling with its identity, its values, and the future of the Second Amendment. As Americans continue to debate and decide, the shifting landscape of gun rights will remain a defining issue for years to come. To understand today's permitless carry movement, we must look back. For much of U.S. history, concealed carry was tightly restricted, with states controlling who could carry and where. The late 20th century saw a shift to shall issue permits, making it easier for qualified citizens to carry concealed firearms. The 2022 Supreme Court Bruin decision struck down discretionary permit laws, accelerating the move toward permitless carry. Vermont never required permits. Alaska started the modern trend in 2003. Before 2020, only a few states had constitutional carry. Now, it's 36. This rapid evolution marks a dramatic reinterpretation of the Second Amendment in modern America. 2025 and early 2026 saw 7 states, North Carolina, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Nevada, adopt permitless carry. This expansion has made permitless carry the majority standard nationwide. Legislative battles were fierce, with vetoes overridden, and years of activism paying off. Just 5 years ago, fewer than half as many states had such laws. As more states join, political momentum grows, and neighboring states feel pressure to follow. Now, over 70% of Americans can carry concealed without a permit or mandatory training. While federal law still requires background checks for purchases, state-level vetting is disappearing. The result: a complex patchwork of regulations that challenges citizens and law enforcement alike. The constitutional carry debate is deeply polarized. Supporters, including the NRA, argue it's a fundamental right, permits are an infringement, and self-defense shouldn't require government approval. They say criminals ignore permit laws anyway, and that permit fees burden those most in need of protection. Opponents, like Giffords and Moms Demand Action, warn that removing permits eliminates vital safeguards. They cite studies linking permitless carry to increased violence and stress the importance of mandatory training. Critics fear more accidental shootings and escalated conflicts without required education. For them, permits are common sense, not an infringement. The debate is about more than policy. It's about competing visions of safety and freedom. Constitutional carry laws have put police in a tough spot. These new laws, which allow individuals to carry firearms without a permit, have fundamentally changed the way officers approach their daily duties. For many law enforcement professionals, the shift has introduced a new layer of uncertainty and risk to even the most routine interactions with the public. Without permits, officers can't easily distinguish between legal gun owners and criminals during stops. What used to be a straightforward process, checking for a permit, has now become a complex judgment call. Officers must rely on their instincts and training, often making split-second decisions with limited information, which can heighten stress and anxiety on both sides of the encounter. Some chiefs worry this increases danger and tension in every encounter. They argue that the lack of a permitting process removes an important layer of accountability and background checks, potentially putting more firearms into the hands of those who shouldn't have them. This, they say, can escalate already volatile situations and make policing more hazardous. Others, especially rural sheriffs, support permitless carry, arguing it empowers citizens where police response is slow. In these areas, law enforcement may be miles away, and residents value the ability to protect themselves without bureaucratic hurdles. For them, constitutional carry is seen as a practical necessity, not just a political statement. This split reflects different philosophies on public safety and policing. Urban departments often prioritize regulation and oversight, while rural agencies emphasize individual rights and self-reliance. The debate highlights the diverse challenges faced by law enforcement across the country, shaped by geography, community values, and local crime rates. In some states, legal gray areas mean citizens can still be detained while proving their right to carry. Officers may need to verify a person's eligibility on the spot, leading to longer stops and potential misunderstandings. This uncertainty can create frustration for both police and law-abiding gun owners, who may feel their rights are being questioned. The result: confusion for both law enforcement and the public. Citizens may not fully understand the new laws, and officers are left to interpret rapidly changing regulations in real time. This confusion can erode trust and make already tense situations even more unpredictable. The removal of permits is seen by some as a loss of a valuable safety tool, by others as a restoration of rights. For supporters, it's a victory for the Second Amendment and personal freedom. For critics, it's a step back for public safety, removing a key method for law enforcement to keep guns out of dangerous hands. Officers must now navigate a rapidly changing legal landscape, often with little guidance. Departments are scrambling to update training and policies, while officers on the street must adapt quickly. As the debate continues, law enforcement remains on the front line, balancing public safety with evolving laws and community expectations. Permitless carry laws are reshaping American life. Politically, they're now a litmus test in many elections, pushing gun policy further into the spotlight. Socially, the presence of guns in public spaces is becoming more common. Some feel safer, others more anxious. The normalization of carrying may change how people resolve conflicts and interact in public. Economically, some businesses and tourists may avoid states with looser laws, while the firearms industry adapts to new training demands. Debates over gun-free zones in schools and businesses are intensifying. Recent court rulings suggest even more changes ahead. The effects are subtle but significant, altering daily routines and public spaces. The gun rights battle is moving to Congress, where a national reciprocity bill could override stricter state laws. The bill would require all states to honor concealed carry permits, or permitless carry, from every other state. Supporters compare it to driver's licenses, arguing rights shouldn't end at state lines. Opponents call it federal overreach, warning it would undermine local safety standards and create a race to the bottom. The bill raises constitutional questions about states' rights and federal power. Legal experts predict immediate court challenges if it passes. The outcome could reshape gun laws nationwide for decades. The stakes are high, and the debate is far from over. As the dust settles on the passage of permitless carry laws, the nation finds itself at a crossroads. Legal experts and scholars are deeply divided, not just on the immediate effects, but on the broader, long-term consequences for American society. Some see these changes as a reaffirmation of constitutional rights, while others worry about the potential for increased risks and unintended outcomes. The debate is far from settled, and the coming years will be pivotal in shaping the future of gun policy in the United States. In the legal arena, courts across the country are bracing for a surge of lawsuits. These cases will challenge a wide range of gun regulations, from long-standing assault weapon bans to the enforcement of gun-free zones in schools and public spaces. Judges will be asked to interpret the Constitution in new ways, and their decisions could set precedents that last for generations. The legal landscape is shifting, and no one can predict exactly where it will settle. Meanwhile, researchers and criminologists are poring over data, trying to determine what impact, if any, permitless carry laws will have on violent crime rates. Some studies suggest a possible uptick in gun-related incidents, while others find little to no effect. The academic community remains divided, and the search for clear answers continues. Law enforcement agencies and policymakers are watching closely, knowing that the next few years will provide crucial data. Both supporters and critics of permitless carry are monitoring crime rates in states that have adopted these laws, hoping to find evidence that supports their positions. The stakes are high, and the outcomes could influence policy decisions nationwide. As the political climate heats up, the gun issue is poised to play a major role in upcoming elections. Candidates are already staking out positions, and voters are paying close attention. The debate over national reciprocity, whether concealed carry permits should be recognized across state lines, could become a defining issue, shaping the direction of federal policy for years to come. In response to these changes, the firearms industry anticipates a growing interest in voluntary training and education. Even without legal mandates, more Americans are expected to seek out instruction in safe gun handling and responsible ownership, recognizing that knowledge and preparation are essential. Ultimately, the future of gun rights and responsibilities will be shaped not just by lawmakers and courts, but by the choices ordinary citizens make every day. Community workshops, family discussions, and personal commitment to safety will all play a role in determining how these new laws affect society as a whole. As America enters this new and unpredictable era of gun policy, one thing is certain: the debate will continue, and its outcome will help define the nation's identity for generations to come. 36 states now allow permitless concealed carry, a mainstream reality, not a fringe idea. For some, it's a triumph of freedom. For others, a threat to public safety. The debate reflects two Americas, each with its own vision of security and justice. With Congress considering national reciprocity, the stakes have never been higher. The outcome will shape laws, politics, and daily life for generations. It's vital for citizens to stay informed, listen to all sides, and engage in the conversation. The experiences of these states will provide real-world evidence for the future. Will these laws make us safer or more vulnerable? The answer is unfolding now. The next chapter in America's gun story is being written, and we're all part of it.